guys, welcome to another video. So in today's video I'm going to be talking to you about all the books I want to read during this I suppose summer period, at least for me in the southern hemisphere. As you may or may not know, I would say I didn't have the best reading year in the year of 2023, so I don't have too much of an expectation, let's just say, for this year for reading. But I will say that these are some books that I've recently hauled, two of them not so recently, but I just wanted to have a nice kind of reading start to the year, and so I did want to get to these in the month of Jan, maybe Feb, maybe March as well. So yes, I did want to read this during the January and February period of 2024. So without further ado, let's get on with my reads for the beginning of the year. So the very first book I have here wasn't technically my choice to read, but it is a book that a person from the book club that I'm in had chosen, and it is David Foster Wallace's Brief Interviews with Hideous Men. This is more so a satirical take on kind of fictional interviews with men and their kind of relationships with women. And so yes, I thought it was an interesting pick, and certainly not a book I would have picked up. I wasn't really aware of the author, but apparently this book is also adapted into a film, now a major motion picture. So yeah, maybe after I read it I might check out the film as well and just see how it adapts. But so far I've only read the first story in this book. It's very short. I didn't really like it, but I do have hope for the rest of the stories. I'm sure I will, appreciate some of the stories, especially if it's more on the humorous aspect and kind of more of a satirical look into men and the hardships of being in relationships or something like that. I don't know. Based on the blurb, it says that this book is a sequence of imagined interviews with men on the subject of their relations with women. These portraits of men at their most self-justifying, loquacious and benign explore poignantly and hilariously the agonies of sexual connection. And so I thought it was kind of an interesting pick, and I definitely think it will pair for some interesting takes and opinions in our book club. And so I'm definitely very interested in finishing this and discussing this with my fellow book readers. Yeah, so this is the book that I'm currently reading and trying to get through, but of course I have some other books here. The next book was my most recent purchase, I will say. I had purchased this while I took my regular trip to my favorite bookstore, Kinokuniya, here in Sydney. And so I got this book, which I'm super excited about. It's called Delegate Dream Department Store, and it is written by Mie Lee, and this is a translated work from a Korean author. Definitely want to read more Korean authors, of course, in the new year. And so this, I just felt like was just the sort of magical realism slash quirky bizarre fiction that I want in a read. I think it's also the cover that drew me. It was just very vibrant and colorful, and I just thought the plot was so interesting and very different from what I expect from Korean literature. And so it's definitely got a very quirky vibe. It just sounds very adorable. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's a bookmark from Kinokuniya. But it just sounds really adorable and sweet and just, bizarre. And so I decided to pick it up. I was really like trying not to buy, because I just have way too many books at this point, and so I'm trying not to spend too much money on books, and I just kind of want to read the books I already own. But this little catchphrase here, it says, "The dream you ordered is sold out." The concept is a department store in your dreams. So you go there to pick out the dreams you want to dream about, and it's just very bizarre. But the synopsis, let's just read the synopsis together. It says, in a mysterious town that lies hidden in our collective subconscious, there's a quaint little store where all kinds of dreams are sold. Day and night, visitors, both human and animal, from all over the world shuffle in sleepily in their pajamas, lining up to purchase their latest adventure. Each floor in the department store sells a special kind of dream catered for each client. Meet Penny, an enthusiastic new hire as she navigates the world within the famous Delegate Dream department store, along with the other salespeople, led by the flamboyant owner Delegate himself. There is never a dull moment thanks to the curious, funny, and strange clientele that regularly visit the store. Follow along with Penny as she uncovers the workings of this wonderfully whimsical world. Doesn't it just sound so, I don't know, adventurous, but also like quirky and cute and like heartwarming to an extent. It's just giving me cozy vibes. Everyone's coming in their pajamas, going into this department store in their dreams. I found it very cute that it's not just humans that go into this store, but also animals. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. I mean, on the cover you see the little dog and cat, and it just sounds very cutesy but also wholesome and quirky, and I just love the sound of this book, and so I just couldn't resist. I really was just gonna leave the store without getting anything, but it's very hard to. I'm sorry. It is an issue that I have, but it's very hard for me to like leave the bookstore without getting one book. But this book, I am all in, and I just wanted to start off the year happy, imaginative, and just feeling good. I just wanted a more wholesome read, and this was the perfect one. I hope I really end up liking this. I am very happy with this purchase, and I hope to love this one. I really want to adore this one, but I don't want to put up too much of a high expectation because, you know, you can always get a little disappointed with some reads, but this is definitely one that I really wanted to get to. So the next book that I have here, I've been wanting to read for a while now. I already have like the next book in this series, but if you don't already know, I've already done a dedicated review for the first book in this series, but it is Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and this is Tales from the Cafe, which is the second book in the series. Like I said, I already bought the third book as well, just 'cause I couldn't resist. I think there's something about the covers as well, and also the newest book, the fourth book has come out, but I was just like, I need to calm down. I have to read at least the second book in order for me to purchase the fourth one, and I eventually will read all the books in the series. But it was just funny because one of the girls I work with was telling me, okay, the second book in the series is her favorite one, which is this one, and so I just really want to get to it. I did adore the first book in the series. I just thought the concept was very simple but powerful, and if you don't know much about Before the Coffee Gets Cold, I'll link the review I did for it up on the screen. But basically the concept is a series of kind of short stories but set in the same cafe, and this cafe is special because when you drink a certain coffee you get to go back in time to a memory of yours in your past. And so yes, it's very quirky, it's very cute, touching, heartfelt, sad, as these people kind of navigate what they do in their past. And so it's just a very cozy read, almost lighthearted. It is short, and because this is a series of basically short stories following different like customers of the cafe or like the workers of the cafe, it's just something that you don't need to take too seriously as well. So definitely love this. I have been meaning to read the second book for a while now, and I think the beginning of the year is the perfect time to dabble into something a bit more light and not too dense is what I'm saying. Which is interesting because the next book that I have here in this books I want to read list is a dense one. So yeah, let's just get on with it because I have been meaning to read this book for a while, ever since I read also again the first book, and it is Before They Are Hanged by Joe Abercrombie. This is the second book in the first Law series. I have been meaning to read this because it's a beloved fantasy series in the fantasy community. Although I will say, even though the first book, The Blade itself, I did put it in my most disappointing reads, it doesn't mean that the quality of the storytelling and the writing was bad. It was just that I had way too much of a high expectation. I thought we would get a lot more plot in the first one and get the ball rolling, but I think the plot aspect begins in the second book, or at least that's what I've heard. So yes, the first book was a lot of build up and introducing the characters and where they are, and it did a very good job of doing that. It's just that it didn't really have too much of a plot. in the first one. I'm sorry, don't come for me, First Law fans. But yes, I do want to get to the second one. And it's been a while since I've read a full-blown like fantasy book. And I think that's why I've been kind of a little bit sad with my reading for 2023, because it kind of lacked a lot of like high fantasy. And I just want to get back into this genre. And so again, I love the grimdark genre and it's something that I haven't read for a while. And so I definitely wanted to dabble into it this year. And so yes, I will definitely get to Before They Are Hanged. And I feel like I need to kind of reread the first one because it's been a while since I've read The Blade itself, and so I don't want to be confused, but maybe I'll just watch like a spoilery review of the first book just to get me caught up on what's happening. But I do remember the ending towards The Blade itself. It was really good and it really got me pumped for the sequel, and then I never ended up reading it. So this year I definitely want to get to it, and I kind of want to complete the trilogy at least, because I do want to read the other series set in the same world. The First Law is a trilogy, and so I do want to hopefully read this one and then sometime mid-year get to the third book, and so I have completed the trilogy at least, and then it would prepare me to continue on with the rest of the series within this world. I just really need to get back into fantasy is what I'm saying. Okay, the final book I have actually started this. This is Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. This is a middle grade fantasy series. I should have put this at the beginning of my list, but anyway, this is not the order of how I'm gonna read the books, but I have actually started it. As you can see, I'm up to here. It's just a book that I wanted to get to because I didn't get to finish it in the year of 2023 and I really wanted to, but I didn't. So I wanted to finish it at the beginning of the year, and because it's a middle grade, it's kind of a lighter fantasy that is kind of feel good and magical and fantastical and kind of escapist, and so I just wanted to read something light and fun, and so I did start this, and I've heard a ton of good reviews about the Nevermore series, and so I picked it up and I wanted to finish it. And I did want a variety of different reads, although they're all giving similar light-hearted vibes except for the First Law book, but yeah, the other books are all a bit more light-hearted. Hopefully, yes, I just wanted more feel-good, light-hearted reads at the beginning of the year just to set the tone and the mood, and then once the weather starts getting cold is when I will start getting into the more darker, cozier, fantastical reads. So yes, so these are all the books I want to read in the beginning of 2024. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have you guys read any of these? Let me know in the comments down below. No spoilers though, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely want to get the ball rolling and reading more frequently and diligently in the year of 2024, and I hope you guys do as well. Anyway, that is all for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and happy reading, everyone. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you for watching once again, and goodbye.